Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be giving you an update on our 2K 5X challenge, where I try to turn $2,000 worth of Bitcoin into $10,000. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom, and we believe trading currencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of how a veteran trader trades. And also, I'm going to be doing a special chart technical analysis on Icon because I missed it in our weekly technical analysis video. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio, so you can view our positions and progress for our 2K 5X challenge. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel. All right, so let's check out where we are today. So over the last week, I made two trades to the downside on Bitcoin. Made about 11% on those two trades. One big winner over here. I shorted at 72.20. Got out at 6,600, which was my target. I got back in at 64.60. And then I got out at 6,300. Currently, Bitcoin is at 6,100, so I did give up some profit to the downside. But I'll talk about why I did that. But before I do that, I had a few questions from a bunch of people about how I trade. They're having a hard time following my trades. So I'm going to give them a step-by-step approach to what my thinking was over the last few weeks. So over the last few weeks, what has happened is that Bitcoin made a move to the upside and then now back to the downside. So as it was going long, I was only going long because our trend turned positive. So if you look here on July 4th, it says in my notes, it says our AM wave trend turned positive. So that means our Altcoin Mentors wave trend, which is a proprietary indicator that we have here, turned positive. So since then, I was only taking longs. And then on August 4th, I said that 1 month later, our AM wave trend turned negative. So, but there's a lot more that happens between our trends because, I am a trend trader. I only trade with the trend, but there's also more to it than just like going long, because it's also about when to get out, when to take profits, and that's really the key, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let's talk about this. So back in July, on July 25th, right before I went on my trip to Toronto to help mentor some more people, I put up this chart on Twitter and on Telegram. So if you don't follow us there, you should. So I said this is my Bitcoin strategy for the next couple weeks, right? If this thing plays out. So basically the trend is positive, medium, and long term. So what I did was I scaled in 20% position long, which was right around here. The idea is to trade additional 40% long only above 7,700. So what that means is that if it goes past 7,700, I'm going to add 40% to my position. But take profits and re-enter until above 8,400. So what that means is that 8,400 is my resistance area. So around here, I should take some profits and then re-enter once it goes back up, right? And enter another 20% position long until 9,400, which is our next resistance area. So what I said was that by taking a long position with 20 to 40%, I don't have to worry about noise, basically the chop. And the extra 20%, I can day trade normally in this range. So this was on July 25th, but I'll show you that before I had posted that one long time ago. So it's pretty easy to say, well, you posted this on the 25th after it went higher and higher. But so I'll show you, this is what I posted on the 24th, before it made it to 8,400, right? This is what I said. So I'll see if I have a better one, right? Just so that you guys understand that this is what I'm doing. So this is what I said before on in the morning, right? So I said, good morning, Bitcoin is headed higher to my next medium-term resistance level at 8,400. Above 7,700 confirmation, I added size. And my targets are 7,700, 8,400, 9,400, 10K, and 11.8. So I think I have another area where I said, this is my strategy down below. So on Twitter, I put up a lot of charts on a daily basis. So if you haven't followed us, it's a good time to join right now. So this is what I said on my other one. Excuse me. So this is how I trade a little bit better, because this is just straight from my wall. This is a picture that I took, and this is very key. Is that near support and resistance, right? Be careful in these areas. It's perfectly okay to play it safe. So this will play into one of the ideas that I have about where to get out. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff on here that you can put in. So this is for Bitcoin. So as it's going higher here, right, at 7,700, I said that our keyword is confirm. So we have a high wave confirm. Finally broke out of the blue range, which was this range over here. Next resistance levels are 7,700, 8,400, 9,400, 10,000. So I try to stay very, very consistent, right? This way I know where my targets are going to be. Okay, so let's talk about the trading. So what happens is if you zoom in, over here, so these are my levels. So as it was going higher, I was only taking long positions, right? But up around here, I was getting a little bit nervous. So I talked about that on Twitter before, that I am not a hero. So 8,400 is my resistance area. So around here, I'm looking to take profits. Because that was one of the questions that someone asked, like, how do you know when to take profits? And the key really is that what I talk about, always before, you have to know where you're going to exit, right? Because every time I ask a new trader and ask them the same questions, which is basically like, how much money do you want to make on this trade? A lot of times, the answer that I get is, I want to make as much as possible. So what that means is they want to maximize every single trade. But by trying to maximize every single trade and trying to be perfect, what they do is they end up giving up a lot of money. Right? They try to catch the tops, they try to catch the bottoms, and then if they don't catch the top, what ends up happening is that they get out at a very bad area. So I'll give you an example of how that might happen. So Bitcoin goes up to 8,400. So I know that this is my resistance area over here. So what I'm going to do is around here, I'm going to take some profits. So that's what I did. I took the profits around 8,300. What ends up happening is that if you were in long, just like I was, and you didn't take profits at 8,300, what you might say to yourself is that, man, you know what? I should have taken profits around 8,400, 8,500 range. Once it gets back into that area, I'm going to take profits. Right? They're trying to maximize their trade. And then guess what? It may get there, it may not. In this case, it never did. So as it was going down, they're holding it because they're like, man, it's going to go back up there. It's going to go back up there. And it goes down. It goes to 7,700. And then now, they might be exiting with a break even or a small winner or a small loser, right? And, unfortunately, if they held it longer, they're going to end up with a big loser. By having targets about where you want to be, where you want to enter and exit, right? You have to have, by having a clear roadmap in play, you get to have a better understanding of where you can make money. So here at 8,400 was where I thought I was going to make money. That's why I decided to scale in and scale out. So now let's talk about another one of the questions that I had from someone before. They basically said that as it was going down, right, I said that I was going to try to get back in because the wave trend hadn't turned negative yet. So I was going to try to get back in to the upside. But then he asked me, how come I never got back in, right? Well, the reason why is because it had never confirmed back to the upside. So we'll talk about that here. So as Bitcoin was going down, right, and it was going in a range, what I said was that I was waiting for it to, bounce back up, and it never did. So basically, here I said that 7,700 is still holding, and this is where I want to try to get back in. Maybe possibly bounce off of 7,700 and go back long again. But here is what happened. That's the same chart, right? So if you look at this chart, that is exactly the bounce back here. But the problem for me is that it never did we had a color change, but it never confirmed. So one of the questions that people ask was like, what is my entry signal? So what I do is I'm a trend trader, so I only try to go in the direction of the trend. So here, as the trend was still positive, I'm only trying to go long. What I'm looking for though is I'm looking for a color change and confirmation. So I use Hakanashi candlesticks, which is a trend-based candlestick. And so what I'm doing is I actually had entered a trade up over here at about 7,800 that never got filled because it bounced off of 7,700, right? It changed color, which is a positive, but I'm always looking for confirmation because you can't just go off the bounce. I say that last week about don't just buy the dip randomly, right? Wait for the curl back up. So my idea of the curl is confirmation. So it hits 7,700, it bounces back up. Just because it went back up $100 for me doesn't mean anything. I need confirmation. So I put my order in at 78.20 and it never got filled. And then it started going back down. And then it started ranging over here, which is the exact same range that it was in here before. So now around here it became neutral. So I'm not trading. And then I tweeted out that this line must hold. Right. So here I'll go back up to it, and I said, this is the tweet, right, that I had put out, which is basically that our wave trend is negative medium term, neutral long term. If it clears below 72.70, I will think about going long again, but that never did. But here is the other one, is that this is the top of the range, so we have to see what's going to happen here. We'll see if it breaks, and I have a must-hold line over here. So we'll go back over there just to show you the range. Okay, so here we go. This was August 3rd. Basically, I said that our AM wave trend turned negative. If it breaks this level, I will be going net short. So what is that level? So that level here is here. So I don't want to make it seem like I just created these charts after the fact. I'm doing a play-by-play. This was August 3rd. So I put my order in here at 72.20. If it breaks below this line, I said it must hold this area. So I entered my trade over here, and then it's net short. So I started going short, and then I had my target here at 6,600. I have my trailing stop loss here, right? So even before that, if you look at it here on my notes for July 27th, I entered long at 8,005. It was getting close to 8,400, but what did I say? I said needs a new higher high or I am out of here. I ended up taking a small profit. I entered at 72.20. I started trailing it. 6,600 was my target price. It kicked me out exactly at 6,600 for an 8.5% profit. Right, I got back in again short, right, at 64.60. It went down to 6,100. I had put a trailer in. I was trying to get to 5,900, and it kicked me out at my trailer at 6,300 because I didn't want to take a loss, right, at this point. So that's what I was trading. I entered here. I rode the wave down here. 6,600 was my target. Boom. It bounced me out. I got back into a position, but then what it did was it hit the bottom, and then here was my 6,300. It kicked me out, and then it started going a little bit lower, but I stopped trading for the week by then because I had a tough week with the markets. I trade futures and Forex, and in the futures markets, it was super choppy, so I decided to give myself a little bit of a break, and then yesterday it broke down, and now currently it's at 6,100. So hope that clarifies things. I know that I took things a little bit fast. In the future, I will go over these better in a more step-by-step approach. Okay, so icon. Let's look at that chart over here. So I didn't do icon last time. I was breezing through it. Unfortunately, the chart for icon looks pretty bad. This is the weekly charts. Here on Binance, we're almost at the beginning. Just started trading it in the end of last year. So it skyrocketed up, skyrocketed down. We're basically right at where it started. So on the dailies, it also doesn't look good. Right, so it broke through major support here at 2865. It broke below medium-term support at 2116. Right? There's no lines below it because it's never been here before since when it started trading. So look at it on a medium-term time frame. Same thing. It's going down, 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 down. I did make a point about this before on because someone had asked me at the end right here. Someone had asked me on Twitter if it was a good time to buy Icon just because it was so cheap. It had never been here before, right? So if you look at it, it had never been here before, and I made the comment about how in real estate, it's all about location, 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 right? That's why it's cheap. And no one wants to live in Detroit, right? So that's why I'm not buying Icon. Because in trading, it's all about price, right? Where is price relative to the marketplace? There's a reason why Icon is so cheap. And it was over here. So they said, oh, but it had never been this cheap before. And guess what? Since end of August, now it's even cheaper than before. So if you took my advice up here and you didn't go long, right? You still don't want to go long because it's still going down. Maybe you can buy it for this little level here, 1,000. Maybe you can buy it for 500. Maybe it'll go all the way down to 0. Who knows? But until this bloodbath stops, and you wait for the curl and confirmation, you have to give it a little bit more room, right? You have to give it. You have to stay a little bit disciplined. So I wouldn't touch Icon on a long at this moment. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job, as you can tell. Been answering a lot of questions of all of our comments and questions right away. We thank you again for watching and see you in our next video.